Okay, so we have lesson 4, our learning target for today. So today I will use exponents so that I can denote powers of 10 with application to metric conversions, okay? So for example, here's our exit ticket problems. I will know that I have it when I can answer 2 meters equals blank centimeters, 40 milliliters equals blank meters, or millimeters, sorry. Elian, recógelo. Y la tapaboca póntelo. Sophie, Merly. Elian, that's not your job. Thank you. Okay. So we're converting metric units. So where meters is a measurement unit. Centimeters is another measurement unit, okay? So let's look at your strip. Let's look at your meter strip. So this whole thing is called a meter strip because this is 1 meter. So how many centimeters are in 1 whole meter? So here to here. How many are there? So you have to look at the paper, not put it on your head. Look at the paper. There's not 90, there's more than 90.
100.
There's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Okay. All right, let's start with some fluency problems. So first you need your plastic template where we are multiplying and dividing decimals by 10, 100, 1,000. Ready? Okay, you need this one in front of you. Okay, we're not doodling. Come on, Elian, quickly. Okay, marker in your hand. Ready? Thank you, Alejandro, for already writing it down. Te estoy esperando. Okay. Thank you, Merle, for being silent and ready. Put it down. Thank you, Thomas, for getting ready. Thank you, Emma, for getting ready. Thank you, Dylan, for being ready. Thank you, Bo, for being ready. Thank you, Noah, for being ready. Thank you, Ledger and Ariana, for being ready. Thank you, Alejandro, for being ready. All right. Okay, so first one. Say the value of the decimal. So how many tens do we have? 3. How many ones do we have? 2. So how would we say this digit? 32, right? No. Thank you. So 32. How many tenths do we have? 4. Thank you, Alejandro. So now how do we say this together? 32 and 4 tenths. Okay? Now, oops. Okay. Draw it down on your place value template. So 3 tenths, 2 ones, decimal, 4 tenths. Okay, so now let's times it. Let's multiply it by 100. Okay, so 100 is a power of 10. How many powers of 10 are in 100, Ledger? 2. So how many shifts do we need to do? 2 shifts. To the left or to the right? To the left. Okay, so I'm going to start on the left side. 2 shifts. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. So that's 3 in the thousands place. Okay, 2 ones, 2 shifts. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right here. 2 in the hundreds place. And now 4 tenths, 2 shifts. Ready? 1, 2. Drop it down right there. We now have 4 in the tenths place. Okay, we have a blank. So we need a placeholder. So what do we put here? 0. Good, Dylan and Ledger. So now what does it equal? 3,240. This is in a measurement unit. Good. Okay, so now, same one, 32 and 4 tenths. But this time, let's divide by 100. So 32 and 4 tenths divided by 100. So how many powers of 10? Okay, ready? So how many shifts? How many powers of 10? 2. So 2 shifts to the left or to the right? To the right. Okay, ready? So I'm going to start on the right side since I'm going to the right. Okay? 1, 2. Good, Thomas. Drop it down right here. 4 in the thousandths. Good, Emma. Okay, now the next one. Thank you, Dylan. 1, 2. Drop it down right here. 2 in the hundredths. Good, Ledger. Okay, next one. 1, 2. Drop it down right here. 3 in the tenths place. Don't forget your decimal. Yes, Marley? Huh? Oh, okay. You can put a 0 here because we still have 0 ones. So now it equals 324 thousandths. Okay? All right, let's try another one, but wipe it all off. This time we're going to do 837. Write it down. Divided by 1,000. 837 divided by 1,000. So go ahead and do it. I'm going to watch. Now, three zeros. 3 jumps. Okay, show me when you're done. Okay, go ahead. Good, Alejandro. Shift it. Divided by 1,000. Good. Think where are we on now? Okay, how many zeros? Okay, ready? So how many powers of 10 are in 1,000? 3. Merly? Okay, so how many shifts? Dylan? 3. To the left or to the right? Right, because we're dividing, okay? Okay, so start on the right side. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Each square is 1 jump, okay? So 7 here. So now the 3, ready? 1, 2, 3, ready? 8. 1, 2, 3. 8, decimal, 0 ones. So it equals 837 thousandths. Okay, let's move on. You now need whiteboards. Okay, so wipe off your place value template, plastic, and let's just use whiteboards. Ready? Okay, we're getting started in 5. Whiteboards, 4, 3, whiteboards, 2. Thank you, Noah. 1, thank you, Elian. Thank you, Ledger Ariana. Beautiful, Emma. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, Dylan. Just the whiteboard, okay, Sophie? Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Marley and Thomas. Okay. So now, you're going to show these unit forms as a decimal. So read it and write it on your whiteboard and then hold it up and show me once you've got it. Ready? 9/10. So what does this look like as a decimal? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down and show me. What are the instructions? Yes. Yes. Try to do both of them if you can. Beautiful. 9/10. Pero ¿cómo se escribe como? Yes. Okay, now try the next one. 10/10. Good, Emma. Okay, now try the next one. Beautiful, Bo. Marley, show me. Okay, so 9/10. How do you write it as a decimal? You're gonna have a 9. You're gonna have a 9. So write down 9.
Is it please?
Well, that's 9D. We have 9. That's 9 ones. So the 9 needs to go in the 10. So what the decimal is. So we have 9/10. Now try the next one. 10/10. Close. 9/10. That's 900. You put your decimal. So how should it look like for 9? There we go.
I'm gonna make it never.
Okay. Thank you. All righty. Good job. Okay, so 9/10. Focus. It seems like when I give goldfish, a lot of students have a hard time focusing. Come on, eyes up here. Voices off. We're not doodling. Thank you. So 9/10. So the 9 ends in the 10th place. So I know if the decimal's here, next is the 10th. So the 9 needs to go here. Just like that. Decimal 9. Eliana, is it here? So 10/10, that means this digit, the last digit in the number, needs to go in the 10th place. So if I write down 10, And this digit needs to go in the tens place. I need a decimal here. Okay? All right, write an exponential form. Ready? Whiteboards, wipe them off. Or paper and pencil for those of you at home. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so yesterday we learned about, Elian, powers of 10, right? So in 100, 100 is equal to 10 times 10. So that's 2 powers of 10, right? So that would be equals 10 to the power of 2. Okay, now try it for 1,000. Ready? Thomas, turn around. 10. So each of these will have a base of 10. The question that you need to solve is what does the exponent need to be? Okay, how many powers of 10 in 1,000? Write it down on your whiteboard. How many powers of 10 in 10,000? Write it down on your whiteboard. How many powers of 10 in 1,000,000? Write it down on your whiteboard. I'm walking around to check. So you're writing all of it first? All right, yes, Leonard. Okay, beautiful. Okay, how many powers? Okay, back over here. Ready? 5, 4, 3. Eyes up here. Thank you, Alejandro. 2. Mouths closed. Thank you, Marley. 1. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Elian. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Ledger. Okay, 10 to the power of 3. Okay, 10,000 equals 10 to the power of 4. 1,000,000 equals 10 to the power of 5. Thank you, Alejandro. 6. 9. 1. Okay, wipe off your whiteboard. Okay, wipe off your whiteboard. Wipe off your whiteboards. Thank you. Convert units. Ready? I want you to write down on your paper 1 km. So that's 1 kilometer equals, write it down. 1 km equals write it down. 1 km equals, Elian, write it down. 1 km, I need the whole sentence. 1 km equals, write it down. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Write down the whole equation, please. And then the next one. It's upside down.
How much is a kilometer?
1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. You have one of these, right? This is 1 meter. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 of these right next to each other. That's a lot, right?
And then this one's 10.
Probably. Probably take the whole park. Okay, next one. Write it down. Don't erase. Write it down below. 1 kg,
1 liter.
1 kilogram. K stands for kilo, kilo. 1 kilogram equals blank grams. It equals 1,000. It's 1,000. So a gram is a measurement of weight. Okay, so this is a measurement of length. Grams and kilograms is a measurement of weight. So how much a person or a thing weighs. Ready? Okay, next one. Write it down below. 1 liter equals blank milliliters. What do you think? 1,000. Salud. Okay, so liter is a measurement unit for liquid. Okay, so like the big soda bottles, those are 2 liters. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. My water bottle right here is 2,000 milliliters. So how many liters is my water bottle? 2 liters. Okay, ready? Next one. 1 meter, write it down. 1 m, thank you, Bo, equals blank centimeters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. That one was different, right? Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so let's think about if you had 1 kilometer and you wanted to change it to meters, you would have to change it to or multiply it by 1,000. If you have kilograms and you need to change it to grams, you're going to multiply it by 1,000. Thomas, eyes over here. If you have liters and you need to change it to milliliters, you need to multiply it by 1,000. If you have meters and you need to convert it to centimeters, you need to multiply it by what? 100. Okay. All right. Let's do application problem. Did I go too far? No. Okay. Ready? Ready? Okay. I have this table up on the whiteboard. It's like a place value chart, right? It has the decimal, it has the ones, the tenths, the hundreds, the thousands, tenths, hundreds, thousands. Okay, below that in the next row it says in meters, okay? So this is 1 meter for the ones. 10 meters would be called also a decameter. 100 meters would be called a hectometer. 1,000 meters would also be called a kilometer, a kilometer, 1,000 meters. Okay, so now let's go into the decimals fractions. Ready? So A tenth of a meter is a decimeter. So how many decimeters do you need to make 1 whole meter? Look at the fraction. How many decimeters do you need to make 1 whole meter? Look at the fraction.
10.
Thank you, Ariana. You will need 10 tenths to make 1 meter, right? Okay, so now a centimeter, centa means 100. So if you have 1 centimeter, 1/100th of a meter, how many centimeters do you need to make 1 whole meter?
100 more.
You need 100 hundredths. Okay, a millimeter, so milli is 1,000. So if you have a millimeter, how many millimeters do you need to make 1 whole meter? You will need 1,000 thousandths. Like money, yes. So like this is the dimes. So you need 10 tenths or 10 dimes to make $1. This is the hundredths, this is the pennies. You need 100 pennies or 100 hundredths to make $1. And this is less than a penny. This value does not exist as a coin. It exists digitally, okay? All right, so now, here's a set of column headings based on metric length related to our place value chart. Designating 1 meter as the base unit or the ones place, okay? Okay, so now use your meter strip to show and explain to your partner how the lengths relate to the tenths and the hundredths. So think about what we just talked about. Emma, eyes up here. How does the tenths relate to a meter? How does the hundredths relate to a meter? Does that make sense? Okay, so what did I say? How many decimeters do you need to make 1 meter? Thank you, Bo. You need 10 decimeters. You need 10 tenths to make 1 whole meter. That's how they're related. Okay, so now for centimeter. How many centimeters do you need to make 1 whole meter? Ledger? You need 100, right? Okay, so that's how centimeters are related to meter. Okay? So now, any questions? Okay, that was an easy one. Ready? Concept development. So problem 1. Eyes up on the board. You need to see this. Ready? Okay, problem 1. How many centimeters equals 2 meters? Emma. Up here. Thank you. How many centimeters equals 2 meters? First, how many is this? How many meters? 100 centimeters or 1 meter, right? So if you have 2 meters, so if you have 2 of these, 1, 2, how many centimeters is that? Noah? 200 centimeters, okay? Beautiful. So we have 2 meters is equal to 200 centimeters, and 200 centimeters is equal to 2,000 millimeters, okay? How can we solve that as an equation? What can we write as our equation? We had 2 meters, and what did we do with the meters? Marley? We added? Okay, but we're going to do it as a multiplication, okay? So how do we solve this as a multiplication? You add 100 times 100, okay? And that equals 200. But is it still meters? No, now it's what unit?
Centimeters.
Thank you, Noah, centimeters. We converted it to centimeters, okay? Kind of dividing?
Yeah.
It's dividing if we switch it. If we have 200 centimeters, and we need to change it to meters, then we would divide, okay? Okay. All right, let's try another one. Ready? Now, let's rewrite this, but at powers of 10. So if we had 2 meters times, how can we write 100 as a power of 10? Lay on your markers. I'm not asking you to write anything. Thank you. How can we write 100 as a power of 10? Ledger? 10 to the power of 2. These are the same equations, which equals 200 centimeters. Okay? All right. We did that. Good job. We did that. Good. Okay, so now, what happened? Okay, so now I want you to write down on your whiteboard or on your paper 1/37 meter. Write it down on your whiteboard now. Again, write it down. 1/37 meter. Beautiful. And I want you to think about how many centimeters that is equal to. Okay? So look at your meter strip. Look at your meter strip. How many whole meters do you have? How many holes? You have 1 hole, right?
1 hole, and then you go to.
So 1 meter is equal to how many centimeters? Noah? 100, right? Just like it says on our meter strip.
Centimeters is right here. It's that.
Okay. So now 37/100 meter would be how much?
37.
37. So decimal 37/100 meter equals 37 centimeters. Okay, so now let's put it together. So if we know 1 whole meter is 100 centimeters, and 37/100 of a meter is 37 centimeters, how many centimeters is that all together? 137. Thank you, Ariana. Okay. So how many total centimeters is that? There's 137. That's so. I'm writing it down. That's so cute. That's the one. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at that on the chart. So now, oh, I need to move this. So we did 2 meters times 100 to make it to centimeters. That gave us 200 centimeters. And then the 200 centimeters is equal to 2,000 meters. 2,000 millimeters, sorry. Okay, so 1/37 meters times 100 to give us 137 centimeters, which is also equal to 1,370 millimeters. Okay. All right, so now let's try another one. This one, I want you to work with a partner. Okay, ready, Elian? Wipe off your whiteboard. No. Shh. Wipe off your whiteboard. Wipe off your whiteboard. Okay, with your partner or at home with your paper, determine how many centimeters are equal to 2 6/10 meters. Okay, so on your whiteboard, you should write it like this. So 2 6/10 meters is equal to blank centimeters. Write it down. This is your problem. No. Write it down. Use your meter strip if it helps, okay?
I know that.
Okay, so let's see. We need, I'm gonna have Thomas and Noah working together, Marley and Bo working together. Dylan and Elian working together, Sophie and Alejandro working together, and then you three will work as a group of 3, okay? Okay, keep your masks on. So work together to solve this using your meter strip. Ready? Yes. Okay, go, Marley.
I know the answers.
Write it down. You don't even have to write it down yet. Thank you, Emma, for coming over. On your meter strip whiteboard. On your meter strip.
You don't even have to do it. I thought it was 2
Alright.
6.
Explain to her.
Right.
Okay. No, write it down. Yes, write down the whole sentence. 1.6 meters equals. Okay, how do you do that?
Okay, so that would be a good explanation. Like 2 strips. And 60 on the third strip, right? We talk about how your partner, like, it's supposed to be a partner. Okay, so you get it.
Okay, how did you get it?
That's a pretty strong word.
Okay, Elian and Dylan. ¿Cuántos centímetros hay en 2.6?
So if you look at your meter strip, right? You're using the whole thing twice.
Okay, ¿cómo guardaste 260?
Yeah, sounds like you're support that. Make yourself what do you make?
¿Cuántos centímetros hay en 1 metro?
10 centímetros.
Ok, so 1 metro son 100 centímetros.
So you didn't get the answer.
Ok, y si tenemos 2 metros, Dylan, si tenemos 2 metros, tenemos
200 centímetros.
ok, si 1 metro son 100 centímetros, 2 metros son
200 centímetros.
¿cuántos?
200 centímetros.
Dylan. 200, ok. Ok, luego te sobran 6,
No, 60 centímetros.
son 0.6, ok.
60.
It's okay, it's okay. Son 0.6 metros. Entonces, si es menos de 1, ¿vas a tener más de 100 o menos de 100 centímetros?
No puedo hacer. No puedo hacer.
Aquí son 1. Este sería como $1. Aquí, ¿cuántos son en dólares?
$6.
¿Tienes $1 o tienes menos de $1? Tienes menos de $1 aquí, ¿ok? Si tienes menos de $1, vas a tener menos de esto. Entonces son 60 centímetros. ¿Ok? Add it together. 260 centimeters, okay? Okay, we're almost done, Sophie.
Quiero-
Quickly, you have 1
¿Me
minute.
prestas el marcador un momento?
No, este es mío. Thank you. Okay. Get a drink of water. Thank you, Marley. No, allá no es tuyo.
Ese es el...
260. Okay, siéntese. Okay, 5 more seconds to finish up your thoughts. Ready? Okay, Elian, siéntese.
This means 6/10.
Okay.
Whole thing. 6/10. So that's right.
Elian.
Each one was 100.
Okay,
So 100 and 100.
ready? Eyes back over here. Thank you, Emma, for having your eyes on me. 5. Thank you, Alejandro. 4. Thank you, Merle, for getting to your seat. 3, 2, 1. Thank you for having your voices off. Okay, so I walked around and I saw some of you show me your work. Just wait. Thank you. Okay, who would like to explain how they solved? Don't give me the answer just yet. Tell me your thinking process. Merle.
We have to time the 300 times.
So you did 2 meters, times it by 100?
Oh! No, I did.
Okay, what did you get? Yeah? Okay, and what did you get?
I got
200 meters?
kilograms.
Close?
Kilometers?
Centimeters. You got it. We got it. Okay, Dylan, eyes up here. Elian, eyes up here. Okay, so what else, Marley? Are you done? Are you finished?
With the 2, you have to times it 6 times
6 times 10?
Yeah.
Like that? Is this 6 ones?
No.
Okay, what is it? It's 6 tenths. So decimal 6 multiplied it by 10.
Equals decimal 6.
Hello.
16. Decimal 6 equals decimal 16.
If you do 6 tenths times 10, that's not going to give you 60. So let's see. 6 tenths, like this, right? You times it by 10, so that's how many shifts? 1 shift, so you would go right here. That would give you a 6 in the what place?
10.
That's not the tens place.
100.
This is the decimal. Left of that is the ones.
You have to divide.
This is the tens. So you didn't times it by 10. You times it by 100. I know what you're thinking, but let's put it together so you can explain it as well, okay? So you did 6 tenths times 100 because there's 100 centimeters and 1 meter. Thomas, put it down. Okay, so now 6 tenths times 100, Elian Dylan up here. That would give us how many powers of 10 in 100? 2. Thank you, Dylan. So that's how many shifts? There's 2 powers of 10. Thank you, Alejandro. There's 2 shifts. So 1, 2. So that's what you're thinking, Marley. Marley? This is what you're thinking, right? That's what you should. That's what I saw on your whiteboard. So that gives us 60. And then what did we convert it to? What measurement unit? What's the letters? Did we convert it to bananas?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. Thank you, Noah. Okay, so now we put it together. Sophie, you okay? So total we have how many centimeters? 200 centimeters and 60 centimeters gives us total, Ledger? 260 centimeters. Thank you. Okay. Did anybody else solve it any other way? Did you solve it looking at your meter strip? I saw Eliana and Dylan were putting both of their meter strips together, right? So if they have 2 meter strips together, 1 meter strip has 100 centimeters. Together with another meter strip has another 100 centimeters. So that would give us 200. And then Dylan, how did you guys get the 60 centimeters left over? Do you remember? Okay, ask Elian. How did we get the 60 centimeters? Using your meter strip. ¿Cómo averiguaste los 60 centímetros? Oh, it's obvious. It's just obvious. All right. Any questions so far? Okay, let's try another one. Perfect. Okay, and this next one, I want you to use, the powers of 10. Okay, so we're looking at powers of 10, which means they have what? Ledger, put it away. Put it away. Powers of 10. So powers of 10 have exponents, okay? Ready? Okay, so problem 2. Problem C. So we're going to explain the difference between C and D with your partner. So the same partners that you worked with before. Marley, focus over here. Okay, so problem C says 2,000 millimeters. Ledger, eyes here. Emma, thank you. Divided by 10 to the power of what class? 3 equals 2 meters. Okay, problem D says 2,000 divided by 10 to the power of 3 equals 2. And then 2,000 millimeters equals 2 meters. So this is all problem C. This is all problem D. This is 2 steps, okay? So now I want you to look at what is the difference, what is different between this problem and this problem. Anything you see, I want you to talk about it. Okay, ready? Go. With your partner. What do you see as different? Thomas, what do you see as different from the board? Up to the middle, about it. Think Marley. Okay, so what do you see as different with both problems?
What do you see? What's the difference? Maybe you want to put your calculator markers on. He's on it right now.
Huh?
Yes.
I think that's the same. What do you guys got? What unit should we start with? Did we start with meters? Did we start with millimeters?
Okay,
Did we
and
start
yeah.
with centimeters? What did we start with in problem C?
What is different about this problem and this problem?
Problem C, it says 2,000 something.
Le vas a explicar a Dylan, no a mí.
I don't think so. It's one of those problems.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Would you like to have this conversation with us? If you don't think we're ready, then sure. So what units are
What
probably
did you see
using
this?
2,000?
Problem
Then and what is that?
Problem D has 2 steps. You have to solve it, right?
Okay,
Problem
so
C has
2,000
1
millimeters divided by 1,000
Yes.
equals 2 meters.
Okay, what else is different? What do you see?
So it might be true, right? It could be true, but they went from millimeters to meters. How does that work?
One has
Anything could
meters,
be
and one
literally
doesn't have
different.
meters. No, because then you take none. Did you talk about order?
Let's check. Let's stay in one unit. I have, I don't know. Let's keep it all in millimeters and see what happens. 2,000 millimeters divided by 10 to the third, which is 1,000, right? How many millimeters is that going to be?
There's not that much difference.
Okay. I agree with you. So how can that be 2 meters? Okay. I don't think it can be.
This one doesn't say it in millimeters. Okay, good.
So then let's look at the next one. It says 2,000
What do you think?
divided by 1,000 equals 2. Okay, I love that. Right? That's happy. 2,000 millimeters equals 2 meters. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. So they use that information, but this one, I don't see how they made this jump right here.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Okay, 5 seconds. Wrap up your thoughts.
My thoughts are right here. My thoughts. My thoughts.
Elian, no estamos andando
One is 2,000 millimeters divided by
Okay.
1,000.
Okay, wrap up your sentence, your thoughts. Eyes up here. 3. Sophie over here. 2. Lid on your markers. 1. Thank you, Elian. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Noah. Okay, so now let's share all together. What did you talk about with your partner that is different from problem D to problem C? Ledger, Emma. Let's have Emma's day. Dylan, turn around.
What's different? Problem C and problem D. Problem C only has one problem.
Only has one step.
And problem D has 2 steps.
It has 2 steps. 1, 2. Perfect. Merly?
Problem C has millimeters. The first problem of problem D doesn't have millimeters.
Okay. Anything else?
And the two has 2 millimeters, and the other 2 doesn't.
And this one doesn't? Does it eventually have the 2 meters? It has it in the second part, right? Okay. Did they get the same answers? So give me a thumbs up. Did they get the same answers in the second step? Merly, why are you saying no?
Because it doesn't have a division, and it's also missing 10.
So this one has division, this one has division, this one doesn't have the 10 to the power 3
Or division.
or the division. It just has 2,000 millimeters equals 2 meters, which is still true. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Both of these problems worked. So the equation was 2,000 millimeters divided by 10 to the power of 3, which equals 2 meters, okay? Thank you. So then problem D, they did 2,000, so they did just the digits. They didn't do the unit yet. Just the digits. 2,000 divided by 10 to the power of 3, which equals 2. And then they went back in and then they plugged in the measurement units. So then they got 2,000 millimeters equals 2 meters because they showed up here that they needed to divide by 10 to the power of 3. And then they plugged back in their measurement units.
So Ms. Tapia, we talked over here about how the top one, problem C, when you do 2,000 millimeters divided by 1,000, we thought we would still be in millimeters. So we thought that the problem C was supposed to have the answer of 2 millimeters.
2 like
So
that.
I don't know, because yeah, I mean, you could divide the millimeters by 1,000 and get meters, but that's kind of a tricky step because usually the units don't change. If we were in millimeters, we stay in millimeters unless we were going to convert the units. So we thought over here, I mean, I could be wrong, we thought over here the answer was 2 millimeters. So that was tricky because we could see that they were using it to convert on D. Because that is a true statement. 2,000 millimeters is 2 meters. But that was kind of tricky at the top because we were like, okay, well, you have to divide the units then too.
Yeah, they didn't state that they were converting the units.
Yeah, so we thought the answer to C was actually 2 millimeters.
Cool. Okay, I like that thought process.
That's why I don't.
Good. Okay. Okay, let's keep thinking about those, and now let's try problem 3. Ready? Okay. Ready? A ribbon measures 4 and 5/10 meters. Convert its length to centimeters. Okay, so write down what you need. A ribbon measures 4, Marley, eyes up here. Mask up. Put it down. A ribbon measures 4 and 5/10 meters. You're going to convert it, so you're going to change the units to centimeters, okay? So let's write it. So 4 and 5/10 meters. It needs to be converted to change to what unit? Thank you, Noah. Ledger, thank you for raising your hand. Convert its length to centimeters, so that's CN. Write it down. Let me see your whiteboard, Eliana, please. Did you write it down on your whiteboard? Okay, 4.5 meters needs to be equal in centimeters. Okay, I see some of you are already solving it. Okay. Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so I have to squint. Okay, Sophie, you got it? Okay, so how did we solve this? How did some of you solve it? Who wants to share? Okay, Dylan, turn around. Put on your markers, you don't need to write down. Noah?
So centimeters are hundredths of a meter. So
Okay, centimeters equals 1/100th of a meter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just 4.5 times 100. And I got 450.
Okay, so the multiplying by 100 helped you to convert that to the centimeters. Okay. Quickly go. Okay, did anybody solve it any differently? Okay, let's try the next one. So 450 centimeters. Okay, try the next one. Ready? A wire measures, thank you Alejandro for being ready. 67 millimeters. Convert its length to meters. Okay, so let's write down what we need. What are we starting with? A wire measures 67 millimeters. What are we starting with? Okay, thank you, Sophie. We're starting with 67 millimeters. And we need to convert it to what measurement unit? Meters. Okay, who remembers way back when, like 15 minutes ago, when I showed you the chart for how many millimeters are in 1 meter? Does anybody remember? 1,000. 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. And remember, milli is for 1,000 as well, okay? So if we're starting with millimeters and we're going to convert to meters, is our value going to get bigger or smaller? Smaller. Why do you think it's getting smaller, Noah?
Well, it's going to be the same, but it's going to look different.
It's be the same, but it's going to look different.
That's going to be. That's all it's going to be.
Hold on. Okay, so what's our equation?
67 divided by 1,000.
Okay, so we're starting with millimeters. We're going from thousand and we're changing it to meters. So the digits, is it getting bigger or smaller? We're starting at millimeters, which is 1,001 meter. We're starting at 1,000 and it changed to 1. Is it getting bigger or smaller, the digits?
Bigger.
The digits are getting smaller. So that's why we're dividing. Okay, because we're going to use bigger units. So we don't need as many digits. So we're going to divide by 1,000, or we're dividing by 10 to the power of 3, right? Okay, so now on your place value chart, I'm trying to write this as fast as I can. Since we're dividing by a power of 10, how many powers of 10 are in 1,000? 3 powers of 10. So how many shifts? 3 shifts. Okay, ready, Emma? Okay, so starting on the right side, since we're dividing, we're shifting to the right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
7,000.
Write it down. Don't just watch me. Okay, now the next one. 6, 3 jumps. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Drop it down right here. Okay, so our decimal would go right here, which means we have an empty space. 0 for our placeholder. So what do we have? 6,700 or thousands. Whoops. See, even I make mistakes. There we go. So we have 67,000 meter. Okay. All right. Problem set. Ready? Beautiful. Okay, I'm coming around with your paper, but start logging in onto Google Classroom. We're working on problems 1 and 2. And if you finish numbers 1 and 2 early, then you may do numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so remember, your leadership, you can use it for your assignments, and then later on you will need it. So start writing on your paper right now so you don't waste any time. Here, put it on 1 minute. Okay, start reading. Ready? Okay, so as you're logging in, let's start reading the instructions, okay? Ready? Okay, number 1, it says, convert and write an equation with an exponent. So you need to write an equation and it has to have an exponent. Use your meter strip when it helps you. Ready? Okay, problem 1A. I think that one is the example. So look at the example so that you can start looking at problems 1B. 3 meters, 2 centimeters. So that means you're converting it 2 centimeters. 3 meters, 2 centimeters. So 3 meters equals 300 centimeters. That's the example. So that's in these blank spaces here, you'll be writing down. So in the next one, you would write down 105 centimeters equals blank meters. Lesson 4 says right here. Okay, so then in the long blank space right here, you're writing the equation. So we had 3 multiplied by 10 to the power of 2. That's where you're putting your exponent. Because you multiplied it by 100, and 100 has 10 to the power of 2. It has 2 tens. Really, you don't need to be doing that right now. Put that away. Put the scissors away. Which equals 300, okay? All right. So that took me a little while. Let's do 9.
Are we doing the back side?
If you still have time, yes. I don't think you will have that much time. Okay, so you're answering on your paper this, so you don't waste time. If you're already logged into class Kit, then just go ahead and keep writing. Use your place value chart when you need it. No.
Are your grades turned on so you can see if you got it right?
I did not check yesterday, so it might not have been. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes of work. Finish up the problem, and then let's debrief really quickly. Okay. Oops. Okay, ready? On Google Classroom? Yes. Yes, Alian? Ahorita. Ahí te van a enseñar, ahí si está verde la cajita, está correcto. Ok, espérame. Okay. Ready? Ready? Thank you, Ledger. You're showing me that you're ready. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Noah. It's okay if you didn't get them all done. I only gave you 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is not enough time to do all of it. Okay. So now, let's think about this. Which of the following statements is false? So A. So one of these is wrong. One of these is not right. Which one of these is false? 2 meters times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,000 meters. 2 meters times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,000 millimeters. 2 times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,000. 2 meters times 2,000, or 2 meters equals 2,000 millimeters. Okay, so think about this. Remember, 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters.
I'm thinking all of them are pounds.
Is this right?
By the power of 3, they would be 10,000. Well, that would be
Okay, so if we know 1 meter equals 2,000 millimeters, is 2 meters equal to 2,000 millimeters? Is this one correct or incorrect? Is this one true or false? This one down here, D. So thumbs up if you think it's true, thumbs down if you think it's false, D. Thumbs up if you think it's true, thumbs down if you think it's false. I think it's true as well, so it's not this one, so I'm going to cross off this one. Okay, C, 2 times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,000. Thumbs up if you think it's true, thumbs down if you think it's false. 10 to the power of 3 is also equal to what?
1,000.
1,000. Okay, eyes up here. Was 2 times 1,000 equal 2,000?
Yeah.
So is 2 times 10 to the power of 3 equal 2,000?
Yes.
Okay, so that one is not false. Okay, so what about 2 meters times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,000 millimeters? Did they say they're changing to millimeters?
Yeah.
They just said they had 2 meters and they're going to multiply it by 10 to the power of 3 because they need 1,000 more meters. A, 2 meters equals 10 to the power of 3, which equals 2,000 meters. Both of these look very similar. And this one, did they say they're changing to millimeters? It shows that they did change it, but they did not show it here that they're changing to millimeters. This one, they had 2 meters and they needed more meters. So this one is false. Okay? All right. Quickly exit ticket. Okay, so go to go formative. Yes, but not yet. Okay, so convert using an equation with an exponent. So go to Google Classroom and go formative. We only need 3 minutes on this. So 2 meters converted to centimeters. So 2 meters equals blank centimeters. Okay, only 3 minutes. I do not need you to do more than 3 minutes.
Those were the same thing.
Oh, okay, you haven't turned it in. Click on the assignments. Are you on today's date? Make sure you're on today's date. Este es cuando lo cambias, entonces 1 y 68 son cuántos centímetros. Ok, recuerda pedir el libro para que veas las tareas aquí y lo puedas leer en español. Estamos en la versión 4. Ahorita estamos en el exit ticket. El boleto de salida es convierte usando una ¿2 metros son cuántos centímetros? No, that's yesterday. here and see how this Thursday, August 27th. So I need to get right here. Okay. Now we're just looking at the now. Starting with, so we know that 1 liter equals to 100. Here we're starting. So we're starting here. We're going to change to a smaller number. So you see how 100 changed to 1. Okay, so that means we want to divide. So we use a smaller number. So we're going to divide with what it started with. 105.
How do you know about that?
Okay, so 100 has how many powers? 2, so we're going to shift to the left.
These are lines you're supposed to
Shift 2 times the left.
Is this what the lines
Go.
I mean, the
Go. All right.
I didn't know that.
Okay, thank you so much for working so hard today. It's okay if you don't feel like you've got it solid yet. We will work on some more of this tomorrow, okay? Okay, go ahead and turn in. So go on Google Classroom and click turn in, and that's all of our math for today. Thank you for working so hard. I really, really appreciate it.
We did like 30 minutes extra.